have to actively contribute to this conversation.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Unlike
Jesus.
our climate change episode where you ignored me the whole time.
Okay, that was A, forever ago, and B, I was falling asleep just because I was tired that day. It wasn't because of you. It was just a lot of information. My eyes just glossed over, and I was like,
It's because you're
it's gonna.
completely uninterested in my climate change research. Research?
I think
Research?
Rish. I think it's because I'm the opposite of a climate denier. I'm a climate acceptor in that I've accepted my fate. That the climate, there's no saving it.
Right, that we're all gonna die, obviously.
Yeah, so I'm like, why learn about it? We're all dead from it anyway.
Anyway, I've started recording, so
Good way to start off. Climate
haha.
change.
My goodness. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another lovely episode of the What Do the Gays Think podcast. Today with me I have my personal dentist, Pat. How you doing, Pat?
You know I love to root around in that mouth of yours.
Mm.
Open wide and accept my tool.
Oh, and then you're gonna tell me that I need to floss more, probably, right?
And I'm gonna make full conversation with you when your mouth is like full of tools and water and spit, and ask you to like respond, and you're just gonna be like, uh-huh.
Uh,
I hate when that happens. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better than I was, a few weeks back when we had to,
Oh, yes.
skip an episode.
Yes. You were sick with something.
I was sick with something, which I'll get to. I'll explain it to the audience in a little bit.
Didn't we already talk about it on Ron John's episode?
Well, I briefly just said that I had it, but
Oh, okay.
didn't talk about it in depth at all.
Yes.
So anyway, the topic of this episode is we're just going to be doing like a roundup of basically like September and a little bit of October that we've been through, because I feel like we haven't really discussed, what's been going on recently. And this is an opinion podcast where we talk about what we think about what's going on, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't speak facts very often. It's mostly just opinion and conjecture.
Wow. I'm pretty sure in our podcast description it's like we try to, spill the facts.
Well, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Oh.
You are the father.
Look, we're going to give the facts and then we're going to give our opinions about them. So, I mean, that's what this podcast is all about.
Yes.
Anyway, today is October 11th, 2021, and it's National Coming Out Day. Happy Coming Out Day, Pat.
Yes, happy coming out day. How do you feel about being out?
Ew.
Is that your official response? Just quote you as saying ew?
No, that's not my official response. I am happy to be out, yes. Although I don't think I should need to be. I think it should just be normalized and no one has to be out or in or whatever.
Oh,
unless you're in my
in my DMs.
My shit slit. Oh.
I greeted you. I introduced you to that phrase, and now here you are using it against me.
Yeah, I'm not using it against you. I'm using it with you.
I love when you. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Oh, you should say it.
I was gonna say something like, "I'm happy to use your shit slit with you," but it sounded really graphic, and also doesn't really make that much logical sense. So it's fine.
Well, do you have your microphone with you, or are you using a different microphone?
I'm using a different one today. Is it bad?
No, it just sounds different. So I will inform our listeners. If Pat's mic sounds different, it's a different microphone.
I'm using my headphone or laptop's mic because I didn't think I was going to be here this late. And then I got into work and I saw what was on the schedule and I was like, oh.
Oh.
So it's one of the two. You also sound different, but that's because the quality of the headphones is different, obviously.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yum, yum, yum. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about, this is not actually like stuff that's going on in the outside world. This is stuff that's going on in our lives, kind of.
Yes.
So obviously, COVID, Right, our nearest and dearest best friend, Rona.
Yeah, Miss Rona.
Miss Rona, she been getting around recently. Let me tell you, I'm not slut
Yeah,
shaming Rona. I'm not slut shaming Miss Rona, but she been getting around a lot.
like me in undergrad, getting around.
Oh, I'm not slut shaming, not at all. I
No, no, no.
applaud you.
Thank you.
Right, so she's been getting around. There's been lots of breakthrough infections amongst the vaccinated people. I think a couple weeks ago it was like, oh, Brett Kavanaugh also, tested positive.
Oh, right, that happened.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I think he got it from boofing with his friends.
boofing? No, not not boofing again. Why?
Boofing without masks on, and it just he got it.
When you boof without your when you boof without a mask on, where would the mask go?
At that point, you might need like a dental dam or something, you know?
What is a dental dam? Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, no, no. You don't know what a
No.
dental dam is. No, no. This is actually good. A dental dam is basically like think about a condom, but it's just a square. And
Okay.
you would put it on a vagina or on an asshole, and then you would do oral, but the dental dam protects you from contracting anything because you're not really tongue to skin, you're tongue to, plastic condom.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
a dam for your mouth because it doesn't allow the other person's juices to get in.
Ew. Okay. That good sakusi juice.
Sikusi, yes. The leakages won't get in.
Ew. Okay. Fine. Anyway, obviously we've been getting a lot more breakthrough infections amongst the vaccinated people. Obviously, it's spreading amongst unvaccinated too because we have the Delta variant going around. And they're saying that Delta variant has a lot higher of a viral load than the
Mm.
whatever it was that was previously going around, the Alpha variant, whatever. Um, so being that there's a higher viral load, it's obviously going to spread. And given the vaccines, we only have so many antibodies in our bodies. And if
Mm.
there's a higher viral load, we have a higher chance of getting infected anyway, especially if you get exposed to someone with a really high viral load. So here I
Yes.
was at Colossal Con East, however many
Yes.
weeks ago now, I forget, a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
And then I got a breakthrough infection. I was wearing my mask most of the time. Most of the time. There were a couple
Yeah.
times where I wasn't. I could have been during that too. But
Boofing, probably.
boofing, yeah. But I was at Colossal Con and I got the Rona. It happened. So I decided that for at least for maybe the first half of this podcast episode, I'm going to talk about my experience with the breakthrough infection, so
Oh,
that
okay.
people understand what it's like to experience COVID as a person who was vaccinated and still managed to get the virus somehow. Do you have any
Yes.
questions for me about my breakthrough infection?
Um, yes. Two questions, actually.
Yeah.
Question number one. Um, do vaccines not work then?
Oh,
Which is the big thing that people ask now.
No, that is actually a thing. So a lot of the people that I was talking to my mom the other day, right? And actually, a couple of people in my family now have gotten COVID besides me, who are vaccinated. And my mom was just going off what's the point? I thought the vaccine was supposed to prevent us from getting it. So what's the whole point? And I was like, Mom, obviously, getting the vaccine prevents you from developing a more severe version of the disease. So A, that's good. And B, you are less likely to spread it. There is new research that says you are less likely to spread it. Even if you catch it and you are vaccinated, you're less likely to spread it.
Yes.
So that is another reason that you should get vaccinated. Stop the spread. Stop the
Stop the
steal.
count,
Stop.
stop the steal, and stop the spread. And my
Vaccine still
and my
works,
second
so
question, my second question is, um,
yes.
I had something.
Oh,
Um,
did you lose
uh,
it?
Oh yeah, here's another question number two. How dare you?
What?
How dare you get COVID and risk my safety?
What are you talking about?
Because we like to hang out, and God forbid, you would have been like a little asymptomatic at one point, and then like I came in close proximity and you infected me. How dare you?
I was not in close proximity to you at any
I,
point, though.
but like, if you had been more asymptomatic and not so sick, even though you weren't like terribly sick, if you hadn't been,
Oh my
then
goodness.
you risked my life
I did. I
by
risked
being your
your
friend.
life. First of all, I was gonna get tested after Colossal regardless of if I became
Yes.
symptomatic or not, because that's what all of us were doing. Where it's let's everyone get tested, everyone in our room, just in case. So I even if I was asymptomatic, I would have figured it out anyway. So I would not have risked your life regardless. I would never
Mm,
risk my beautiful Patrick's life. Never.
okay, sure. Okay, yeah.
You seem unconvinced.
No, I mean, we'll see what happens when you and I go to a convention in the near future, um, about whether or not you don't risk my life again.
Well, MagFest, which we're going to in January, is supposed to require vaccines. So hopefully,
Yes, like a good place should.
yes. Oh, did you? This is not in my episode topic, but Texas apparently has now banned vaccine mandates by anyone.
I saw Governor, what's his name, Abbott,
Yeah,
or
Abbott,
something.
dick face.
Um, a real charmer.
Yeah, I really hope they vote
Hope
him out. That'd be great.
they voted him in, so there's someone there who likes him. I don't know who, but someone likes him.
He's killing people, so I don't know.
He's killing.
I think he is, but
I mean,
anyway,
yes, yes, yes. It's just funny hearing it like that, as if he's running around like
he's just
murdering
murdering
people.
people.
Which would not be funny, of course, but the phrasing surely is.
Okay, okay. So I'll talk about my breakthrough infection and what happened. So I was vaccinated with
Yeah,
Moderna, Milady, Moderna,
my lord, yeah.
Milady. I got my second dose at the end of April. Um, and I thought I was good because there have been a couple studies that say that if you get Moderna, you have some more antibodies than if you were to get Pfizer.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Ooh, I'm like extra protected, so I should be okay."
I was not okay.
I was not okay. So how did I start? I don't know when I was exposed. The convention was like a 4 day week, it was a 4 day convention. I could have been exposed
Yeah.
any time in that 4 day interval. But anyway, 2 days after I got back is when I started experiencing my symptoms. First symptom I experienced was chills. I walked
Were they
outside.
multiplying?
What?
Were they multiplying?
My chills? I don't get the
It's
joke.
a,
What's the joke?
it's a song from Greece. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, that's what. I've seen
Oh,
Grease like
okay.
maybe once. Maybe
Move
once.
on. Move
Okay,
on. It's over.
okay.
It's over.
Um, my first symptom was chills. I walked outside with Cody and I was like, wow, I'm cold. And then I was like, wait, it's like warm outside. Why am I cold?
Hmm. Someone just dropped an ice cube down the back of your neck.
Yeah, so I took my temperature and I was like, oh, I have a fever. Amazing.
Mm.
So that's when I first knew. Well, I didn't know that I had COVID. I got tested the next day, and my rapid test came back positive, regardless.
Yes.
My fever lasted for 3 days. I had it capped at 101. It never went higher than 101. Uh,
Oh, well, still not good.
I mean, it's better than like some other people that I know that have gotten COVID. Uh,
Yeah, Jackie.
Jackie, my one cousin who's not vaccinated apparently got up to 103 during his
Oh,
infection. Yeah, not good. Uh,
Jesus.
but anyway, so right, my fever capped out at 101, which is fine. It went away after 3 days, and then for the first couple days, I was like pretty congested. I thought it was allergies at first, honestly, because I had like a sinus headache. I was like, oh no, my allergies are coming back, but I have to take medicine. And then the fever was like, nope, I'm here to play as well. And I was like, well,
Yes.
fuck.
Classic in signs of infection. Yes.
Yeah, but then after my fever went away, like I just had nausea for a few days after that. I would say it was like, I had the 3-day fever, and then I was just nauseous for like 4 days.
Too many hours looking at Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah, I vomited everywhere.
That's what'll do it to you. Yeah.
But the nausea was like, it was bad enough where even if I like moved around, I would get really nauseous. So I was like,
oh no.
Yeah, so I was mostly just in bed, not moving I like took the week off from work basically, and my work was very nice and understanding, and they were like, yeah, obviously, you're infected with Rona, you can take as much time off as you
go
need.
Away. Yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I didn't have any cough though. It was like my throat was a little bit scratchy, but like very, very few coughs, I would say.
Well, I'm happy your thrusty wasn't too injured in the process.
Oh yeah, I was able to record whenever our next episode was, like a week later.
Your voice did sound majestic, though, I will say.
Who's daddy's little boy?
That is pretty close. That is pretty close to what you did sound like, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little more. What would you say? Gravelly? Is that the right word?
Oh yeah, definitely gravelly. You had the depth, but not the gravel.
Right. And then we played a lot of Diablo 2 Resurrected during that time.
We did. Jack and I got a head start, and then you joined us, and it was lovely.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Jackie, Jackie's messaging us both right now. Oh no, it's the ASMR chat, but still.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Jackie.
Hi, Queen.
Hey. Hey.
How y'all doing?
If they're listening to this episode, say hey.
Yeah. With the frequency that Jackie looks at Snapchats, I imagine the podcast is even worse.
Oh yeah. They probably
Jackie,
never listen to the episode.
A year from now, we'll listen to this episode and be like, "Oh fuck, I gotta text them."
A year later, wait.
Yes, this is familiar.
God. Back to my Rona.
Oh yes, sorry.
The only other symptom that I had besides like the fever and the nausea. I did lose my sense of smell about 4 days into my symptoms, which was interesting that I didn't just lose it immediately. It was like later that I lost it.
Yeah.
But then it came back like 2 days later. And then after like a week, most of my symptoms were gone. I had like a little bit of residual nausea for a few more days, but I mostly cleared it from my system after like a week.
Yeah, I think the only thing that persisted was you being gay, right?
Yeah, once you catch the Rona, you immediately turn into a gigantic F word. We've said it before on the podcast.
F word. What F word is the F? Firefighter.
Fag.
Queen. I love that sound where they're like, someone's like, oh no, someone goes fag, and then you go what? Oh, queen.
Oh, I've never heard that sound before.
Doesn't matter. You're not with the times. It's okay.
I'm not with the times. But you know what though? I don't think. Well, at least I don't. I hope. I think that I didn't spread it to anybody else. Because the day before my symptom onset, I was hanging out with Troy a lot, and he didn't get it, and he's vaccinated. So.
Well, that's good.
That is good, but of course that's only anecdotal evidence, and I hate anecdotal evidence.
Yes, not enough data there for you.
Not enough data. We got to listen to whatever the the research papers say, the most recent studies, the ones that say it's less likely that you're gonna spread it between vaccinated people, which I think I saw a study on that, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
So that sounds anecdotal.
Well, no. Anecdotal would be my specific experience and what I see.
Well, you experienced potentially seeing the article.
Oh, what shut your booty hole. All right.
Oh God, I wish someone would open it. It's been shut for so long.
Ew. You got cobwebs.
Okay, Queen. What? My feather duster up there.
Yeah, that's it. So like I mostly was done after 7 days, so I hope that this hopefully gives a little bit of reprieve to anyone who's vaccinated and is afraid of getting a breakthrough infection now with the Delta variant. That's what I experienced. Everyone's experience is going to be different. Some... Ooh, hello.
Rona?
Rona, it's back. Some people might get more sick. Some people might get less sick. Some people might be asymptomatic. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, this is like your bat signal basically to everyone who you are around. This is your coming out that you had COVID.
Yes. Oh my God. Coming out story. I had COVID.
Um, this is yeah, I'm coming out as COVID positive.
Oh.
Everyone, please respect my privacy at this time.
Oh my God. And but they're saying now that my quarantine only lasted 10 days, and I thought it was 14 days. The health department was like, stay in the house for 10 days. Don't go near anybody. It's 10 days after symptom onset.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't have fever for 24 hours, then you're good. I was like, okay. Live.
Listen, I live.
I live.
New data becomes available, and you make new judgments off of the new data. That's all.
I love it. I love science. Do you?
Do you live, laugh, love it?
No, I gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss it.
Be careful, it's a girl boss too close to the sun.
Too close to the sun.
Oh, Lord.
Right. That's it about my Rona. Unless you have any other questions about my breakthrough infection.
No, I mean, is this the last we'll hear about it?
About my COVID?
Yeah.
For this episode, yeah.
All right, let's just have a quick in memoriam for Matt's COVID. We're gonna have a moment of silence. There we go. That was a moment. Please move on to the next topic.
It was like a second.
That's what a moment is. I don't want a moment of silence lasting for minutes. That's not a moment. That's minutes of silence.
Oh my God. You're so what would you call it? I don't know the word for it. No, not rude. Well, you are, but
well, yes, but no.
Yes, well, no, but yes. You're so like precise. I don't know what to call it.
I like precision. As a scientist, I find that that's important.
How do you feel about recall, though?
Recall?
Okay, never mind. That was a stats joke.
I thought you meant memory recall, and I was like, my memory is not good. How do you feel about precise and accurate?
In terms of
precision and accuracy.
I like it depends on it depends on your use case, but I like recall. That's my fave.
I don't know. Explain it for the kids. We don't know what that is.
I'm not going to explain that right now. That'll be another podcast episode.
Fine.
You want to look at a confusion matrix? I can bring one up.
My life is a confusion matrix. I don't need anything else.
Mood. Okay, moving on. Oh right, I had this little note here. I wanted to, before we get into like what's going on in the outside world, I was like, being that I talked about my Rona, did you have any like interesting life updates that you wanted to give to our podcast listeners?
Let's see. My blood pressure went down because of my new medicine.
That's good.
And
you're going on vacation next week.
And I'm going on vacation next week. Hopefully I don't get Rona.
Well, we could always hope.
Yeah, a lot of things I'm going to either require, like anything that's indoors requires my, proof of vaccination and a mask.
Yeah.
And the other stuff is outdoors, so it's not really as bad.
Cute. Live, laugh, love.
Thank you. Girl boss gate peep. Gate peep? Gate peep.
I'm still upset I wasn't invited.
Guys,
gaping.
Literally a romantic trip with my boyfriend. We try to go on vacation every year, and since we couldn't go last year, we're going this year. It's the two of us. Yes, some of Kel's friends will be there, but that's because they planned on going to another show that we're also going to be at without my prior knowledge.
So wait, Kel invited his friends, but you didn't invite me?
No. We didn't invite any of our friends. It just happens that some of Kel's friends will already be in Vegas when we're there.
Mm-hmm. Likely story.
We only This is how I found out. I bought tickets for EDC.
Right.
Which is like that whole like music festival nonsense where everyone gets fucking high and dances a lot. I bought tickets and I was going to surprise Kel with them, and I wasn't going to say anything. one of Kel's friends that I follow on Instagram posted on his story that he was also going. And I was like, oh,
Oh, she?
neat. That's what happened. And that's what she said.
And that's what she said. And what was that? Okay, James.
Okay, James.
Okay, let's move on. So actually, I wrote the notes for this episode, the rest of it. I wrote it before I was infected with Rona. So some of it's a little old, and I might skip through some of it now. I'm not sure if we even want to talk about some of this stuff anymore. I don't know if we care. So the first bit that I had to talk about was the California recall election. I don't even know if we care anymore. Yeah, it's over.
It's over. And he didn't get recalled, right?
Well, yeah, I had actually written this after it was over, and I was just like talking about the results. I don't even know if we care anymore.
I don't.
Okay. He didn't get recalled. Which I will.
I mean, if you care, let us know.
No, well, I will say what's interesting is that he won by what's quote unquote called a landslide.
Okay.
By like the margins or whatever. Like the margin was 63% to 36%.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting because the general reason that he was being recalled was because Republicans obviously were upset at the COVID restrictions and whatnot. So I think that the results of the recall just goes to show that at least in California, the people were generally happy with the COVID restrictions.
Yes, because more people voted to keep him in than not, so they must have supported his shit. So I'd like to think that perhaps there was a lot of inflammatory response to the COVID restrictions by Republicans, but they weren't inflamed enough to actually go vote.
Well, I mean, they were
so
probably...
you got far less.
I mean, they got enough signatures to do this stupid recall or whatever. You know, New Jersey is actually a state in which we can recall our governor too.
Well, let's get on it.
No.
Bring back Chris Christie.
No. Keep Chris Christie out.
Him. Literally, keep him as far away from me as humanly possible.
I think most New Jerseyans didn't like him, honestly.
Yeah, because he was a dick.
Oh, and he there was that whole thing with Hurricane Sandy where he was like chilling while the entire state was like drowning.
Yeah, I remember there was like a photo of him like relaxing somewhere.
Yeah.
I think like on a beach or something while the whole state was like under a state of emergency.
Yeah. Same thing happened with Ted Cruz, who went to Cancun
yes!
during the hurricane there too.
Yeah. I live, laugh, love.
I live. And one other thing that I found funny about that whole recall thing is that the opponent, Larry, what's his name? Larry Elder.
That's a dumb name.
It is a dumb name.
Sorry, Larry, but that's a dumb name.
He posted on his website the day before the actual election results were available. He posted on his website that they found that the election was fraud, like the whole thing, but the election wasn't over yet.
Oh, I thought he's thinking the recall's fraud, not the original election.
Oh yeah, the recall fraud. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Okay, sure, Jan.
So my question is this going to be a thing for like ever now? Like whenever someone loses, are they all just going to say this was wrong, this was fraud?
They are going to cry wolf, yes.
Then like is it even going to like first of all, if Trump runs again in 2024 and loses again, it's going to be this all over again. If we keep perpetuating this.
Well, I mean, because it's like the story of the boy who cried wolf. The one time they don't go, the wolf fucking eats him. So as good, I'm not going to say as good Democrats, but as people who want to support a free and fair election, once you hear and see enough, call for a investigation, you have to do it to be thorough, to show that your government is still, responsible and tries to sort of self-regulate. So, right. I mean, we kind of have to. It's unfortunate that losers be bitching and whining all the time, but, the moment we stop checking into it, there might actually be, a case where there is actual fraud and we'll miss it. And then you'll get, I don't know, Vladimir Putin running the country.
Oh, Vladimir Putin wins the election.
Yeah, you never know.
My goodness. Imagine. That'd be terrible.
It would be terrible because I think that Russia is in a pretty poor state, and I would not want to replicate that in America.
And their government is very oppressive, so it'd be that way.
Oh, they just kill people. Yeah.
Oh, I was more well. I don't know about Russia killing people.
Oh, I'm under the belief that Russia's government 100% kills its own citizens.
Oh, probably, but I was more referring to like if any of the citizens try to speak out against Putin, they're like silenced, or maybe they're killed. Who knows?
Killed. And then they have like a bunch of foreign nationals like in prison for years, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. It's not right, and it's not okay.
Anyway, let's move on. I'm done with this.
Okay. Me too.
Then I had the whole thing about Nicki Minaj and the fucking vaccine.
Oh, yes.
So we haven't talked about this, but I feel like we can if we want to.
Oh, I'd love to. This is great.
So right, there was that whole Twitter thread with Nicki Minaj. It happened like mid-September. And Nicki Minaj basically tweeted like saying that she didn't have the vaccine. And then B, she was like, I don't know if I want to get it because, my one cousin from Trinidad and whatever the country is, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if anyone lives there and I'm saying it wrong. But my one cousin from Trinidad, it was like the cousin's friend. Sorry, the cousin's friend. My testicles, became swollen after getting the vaccine.
And he became impotent, and his wife left him before their wedding.
Yeah. So here's the quote.
Or fiance.
Here's the quote. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied.
Okay. Yes, Nicki
Minaj. But I will say that later that same evening, Nicki did say, like, oh, I recommend that people get the vaccine, it for certain reasons. Some places, require it, and then she recommends that they should get it, but just to do their own research.
Yes, because her own research has turned up gold.
Obviously,
that her cousin's friend's balls swelled up.
Right.
Right.
So there was more drama that happened later, where Nicki Minaj retweeted something from Tucker Carlson.
Oh yes. Tucker Carlson was at one point, I think, saying like, Nicki Minaj should be able to decide, when she feels comfortable to get the vaccine, and she shouldn't be silenced or whatever. Ugh.
Yep.
And then it devolved into later, like the White House reached out and said, like, Nicki, if you ever want to talk, hit us up.
Yes, and apparently she was gonna go, but I don't know. Did she ever go? I don't know.
I don't think it was a visit. I think it was more to call them and talk on the phone or like FaceTime or something. And I was like, it's okay. Like, two things came up. First thing was, I once again have to do that thing where I need to separate the art from the artist.
Right.
Which is very difficult because I like some of Nicki Minaj's work.
Right.
I like some of her songs. But then she says stupid shit, and I'm like, okay, now I have to be like, it becomes like a moral dilemma. Do I support this person's art, which financially supports them, even though I don't believe in all their values?
Right.
And then the second thing was, it's so sad to see a person who has so much, outreach to people, especially younger people who like listen to her music or, see her in her short filmography that she had. And she's using her platform to, it was nice of her to say to do your own research, but to just kind of spout anecdotal or anecdotal evidence, it's like, it's kind of sad to see that.
Yeah, so that was the point that I was gonna make. Like, anecdotal evidence, for the most part, especially when you're as someone as famous as Nicki Minaj, you shouldn't be tweeting anecdotal evidence as a reason to like not get the vaccine, or to not like if if you're trying to speak on a major political issue, which the vaccine is a major political issue, you shouldn't use anecdotal evidence as a reason, like as part of your reasoning on the topic that you're speaking about. So that I didn't like. I was fine with how later in that same evening she was tweeting like, oh, which vaccine should I look into and whatnot. I was like, that's good. But that anecdotal evidence, we have a whole podcast episode about this, I'm pretty sure. Where we talk. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I might have been asleep for that one as well. No, I think I don't know if it was a whole topic, but we definitely spent a chunk of time talking about it.
It was the proof by example episode.
Oh, that, yes.
Yes.
Of course, who could forget the Emmy Award-winning episode of our podcast about proof by example.
Yes, you never prove by example. You never use that in your arguments. It's a logical fallacy.
And you know how much I love fallacies. Phallic.
Fellatio. What?
Get out your dental dams.
Ew, what?
Listen, if you want to have protected oral sex, then there's no penis involved. Bring out the dental dam.
Okay. I don't actually think it's weird.
So you're a liar. You're gaslighting me.
Well, yes.
What else is new? Okay.
What else is new? Anyway, I just thought that whole thing was hilarious to me.
I loved.
It was just like such a random thing that happened. And I was like, what is happening? This country is devolving into some weird shit. Like, this is the weirdest timeline.
Yeah, this is definitely the branch timeline that should have been snipped. But for some reason is left to just... Basically, all the other timelines probably watch this one because this is the most chaotic, but they let it go because it's like a car accident or like a train fire or something. They're like, we just have to let it run its course because it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's like, a TV show. People love watching chaotic shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, you were just agreeing with me. I
know, it's so rare that happens, but I was just agreeing with you.
You bitch. Anyway.
I was agreeing with you. God damn. You can't even win when I agree with you. Shit.
All right, last thing. Last topic. You ready for this?
Lay it on me.
Let's talk about this dumb reconciliation package that Congress is trying to pass.
Okay. Yes. Okay, fine. We have to. Sure.
Background. Set the scene. A couple months ago, they passed this quote-unquote bipartisan infrastructure bill, which just has like money for like roads and bridges and whatever, like nothing I don't want to say nothing substantial, but
whatever, infrastructure, whatever. No, that it's like good stuff, honestly. Like we could use the money for that, whatever. So that bipartisan bill passed with Republican support and all Democratic support. It passed the Senate and it's sitting in the House. But the House progressive leaders, or the progressive like caucus, there's a couple of them, they have said that they will not pass it unless the more progressive reconciliation bill passes along with it, or else it's just going to sit there and like they're not going to do it. And Nancy Pelosi was like, yeah, we're not going to vote on it unless this reconciliation bill passes. Okay. Trying to flex. I like it.
Trying to flex. There's a lot of, I don't want to say power grabbing going on, or like, I don't want to say power grabbing. There's a lot of back and forth, power punching between the progressives and the moderates right now. Yeah. So here's a question for you before I talk about the package itself. Why does it seem like within the Democratic Party, there's like this moderate versus progressive fighting that's happening all the time, but in the Republican Party, there's like none of that. There's never like any, moderate versus far right Republican infighting going on. Like what's happening here?
I think there are moderate and definitely more extreme Republicans, like, what's her face? what's that woman, the one Republican lady who like voted to impeach Trump? What was that? What was her name?
Well, there's Lisa Murkowski.
Yeah,
I
was
don't
that
know if who that she's who you're talking about.
maybe her? But basically, she was like interviewed later, and she goes like, "I stand for like older Republican values, not this new wave of like Trumpy Republicans." So like there is
Right.
that, but the reason I don't think you see a lot of infighting is because the more moderate Republicans probably fear they will be voted out and replaced with a more conservative Republican, whereas the very liberal Democrats know that at least in the districts or the states that they were voted in, they have a lot of liberal progressive support. I think the progressive support is stronger than the more conservative Republican support, most likely because Trump was able to really embroil the Republican Party and get a lot of people over to a more radical side.
Right. But like it gets you thinking like why do some of these you would say quote unquote moderate Republicans not vote for like moderate legislation?
Because they don't have because they can't promote moderate legislation because they either get the Democratic legislation, which they're not going to vote for definitely because they're not Democrats and because they don't want to anger their constituents, and the majority of the other Republicans are putting up, extremely conservative legislation. There's not a large enough conservative Republican, or not conservative Republican. There's not a large enough moderate Republican group to actually generate legislation and have it be supported enough to actually get it to a vote.
Right. I just didn't feel like during Trump's first 2 years when they had this same like trifecta control, I didn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like there was as much like oh these moderate Republicans won't vote for this package like unless it becomes more moderate. I felt that there wasn't any of that.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that era, the Trump presidency didn't really actually get a lot of legislation passed because it didn't really have an idea of what it wanted to get passed. So there was some stuff, but there clearly wasn't. And like, the whole like the thing that most people think about is obviously the healthcare plan that didn't exist, that Trump kept saying existed, but it
Oh
never
yeah.
existed. It never showed up. So like it's because he didn't have plans. So like there was nothing to vote on really.
Yeah,
I guess.
the only thing that they did was that one tax bill and then like did they do anything else
I
substantial?
honestly, I think it's a blur, really. It's like
It's a
I've
blur.
PTSD'd it. I've PTSD'd it away from my mind, probably.
They built like half of the wall maybe, I don't know.
No, I don't even think it's half. It's probably like a fourth,
Yeah.
probably.
And then I'm pretty sure Trump waved his dick around a lot with executive orders and stuff, but
Yeah, and you saw how tiny it looked, like a little mushroom toad head.
ooh, yeah.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. And you know what?
Anyway,
What was that?
okay, James.
Okay. I want to talk about the bill itself though, because apparently a lot of people don't even know what's in this big reconciliation $3.5 trillion plan that they're trying to
Yeah.
pass, but the moderate Democrats don't want it. So they're having this big fight right now in Congress. So
Mhm.
let's talk about what's in it. I have a whole list of things that are in it.
What's inside?
Okay, let's unpack the package.
My favorite part of the evening.
Hello?
Nothing. Go on, please.
Okay, so the Build Back Better plan would establish universal pre-K programs for 3 and 4 year olds, as well as childcare assistance for children between the ages of 0 and 5. So childcare assistance is like these families, if they have a certain income, like could apply for childcare assistance. They can get money from the government to,
Hmm.
help with their childcare. Apparently, the Biden administration is estimating that this plan would keep the cost of childcare at 7% of most families' incomes.
Okay, cool.
So that's pretty good. I love
Is that
that.
is that a good number? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a good number, right? I don't know how family incomes work with children, as I historically don't like children and don't want them.
Oh, yeah, I feel like depending on how many children you have, like childcare could cost a lot.
Yeah, I assume all the diapers, all of the, therapy visits.
Therapy.
Well, everyone needs therapy a little bit.
Oh, yeah, lots of people need therapy. I need therapy, honestly.
Mood.
2 free years of community college.
Love
Lit.
that.
Love that.
Love it.
Let's see what else. 12 weeks of guaranteed paid parent, family, and personal illness leave. Love that.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, if you become a parent, like you have 12 weeks guaranteed of, you know, paid leave, which we don't have, which is surprising.
And while I may not want children, it's like so shocking to me that like we don't have it. Because like think about it. Let's say you're a stereotypical cishet couple, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got your man and you got your woman. The
Right.
binary exists. The woman gets pregnant.
Ew.
I know. Ew. She gives birth. Ew again.
Ew.
And you have this baby. This baby that like unfortunately humans are like the worst mammals because our babies can't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like most mammals' babies, like within either like a day or two or some short amount of time are already walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ours, since our low gestational period and small birth size, are useless. They're useless. They need like childcare and like round the clock watching for like the first 3 years of their life.
Terrible. Awful.
And like we're out here going like, oh, you just had a baby, come back in 2 weeks. It's like, where do you think my fucking baby went?
Yeah.
Right up back my hoo-ha? Like,
I
God.
think 12 weeks, which is good. That's good, but it's not enough. People need more than 12 weeks.
It's clearly like the woman just needs because the vagina bearer, the ovary bearer, needs time to just recover. Like
That's true.
either you have a natural birth or if you have a C-section, shit is not where it used to be. Things are wider, holes are made or sealed back up. Like you need time to just recover. Not to mention, while that person, the vagina bearer, is recovering, someone's got to take care of the fucking baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I agree with you. That's terrible. That's why I'm going to get a baby that's like 5 years old. I'm just going to skip that. I'm going to skip the whole baby part. I'm going to skip the whole baby part. I'm good. Port.
Okay, sure.
Anywho, let's move on. So, right, there's the guaranteed paid leave, which amazing. This one's about Medicare. I don't know a lot about Medicare. I'm assuming it's for like older people, right? Like people who don't have jobs anymore. It's like their healthcare.
I guess, but it's also for anyone can sign up for it, really, right?
I don't really know, but they want to add dental, vision, and hearing benefits to Medicare.
Which is important. I think it's ridiculous that those aren't already wrapped up in health. I hate how they're separate. Like they just should be all inclusive.
I hate that. I have to pay separate dental health insurance compared to my regular health insurance. I'm like, hello? Why is it not wrapped up in one?
Granted, it's not that expensive, but still, like, it should just be together.
Just like us.
Not that expensive, but should be together.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Jan.
So there's that. They want to extend the child tax credit that came through with the COVID-19 relief bill. They want to extend it through 2025. So right now, families under a certain income can receive like $250 to $300 per month per child. And that's being debated. Apparently Joe Manchin, fucker. Apparently he thinks like, oh, there should be, job work requirements in order to, get that or whatever. I'm like,
him and fucking Crystal Cinnamon. So just ruining everything.
Crystal Cinnamon.
Damn. Crystal Cinnamon, yeah, Jesus.
Couple of other things. They're seeking to reduce carbon emissions by 50%. And for the entire U.S. power grid to be 80% of like emission-free sources by 2030. That would be amazing if they could do that.
That would be nice, yeah.
There's a lot that would have to go into that. I actually watched a really nice video recently. It was by...
Oh, was it a video of me?
Yeah, no. Even though I would have loved
Okay.
to watch a video from you on your OnlyFans.
Oh.
No, it was by Vox.
Yes.
And it was them explaining, if we wanted to convert all of our energy grids to clean energy by a certain time, there would need to be a lot of investment into these really long power cables, because there's certain parts of the United States where having things like wind and solar farms is more efficient, and that most of those areas are like in the Midwest. But the problem is where all the energy is needed is on the coasts, like California, New York, etc. So they need to invest in the ability to take that energy and move it from the Midwest, out to the coasts. And we just don't have like the energy lines right now to be able to do that. So a lot of this investment should be there, is what they were saying. And I was like, that's interesting.
That sounds like a good idea.
It does sound like a good idea. Apparently, though, it could be harmful if you're trying to move these power lines through like existing forests or whatever, because they're not insulated wires, so they could accidentally catch things on fire. It was like a whole thing like that.
Oh, cool. Just forest fires. Not like we have enough of that in this country.
Oh yeah, love it. Just love all of it. Couple of other things. The plan wants to lower the price of prescription drugs. Love that. And to pay for all of this, they would likely increase taxes for anyone who makes over 400K and on corporations.
Well, then I don't want it, because I don't want my taxes increased as someone who makes over 400,000 and is a corporation.
Right. You are a corporation. You.
Yeah, corporations are people.
Patrick Fardella Incorporated.
Yes, we sell stamps.
Stamps? Wow.
Yes.
Can I have one?
Yeah, and the fun part is when you lick it, there's a surprise.
Oh. There's a dental dam. No.
It doubles as a dental dam.
Doubles as a dental dam.
Yes.
So yeah, there's been a lot of fighting about this bill. Joe Manchin and Crystal Cinnamon, they both say that they oppose the bill as it currently stands.
No fucking surprise.
Joe Manchin was like, I don't want 3.5 trillion. I'll go up to like 1.5 trillion. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Okay, sure.
And Crystal Cinnamon was like, I don't want to reduce the price of prescription drugs because she probably has money in Big Pharma.
Yeah. Some sort of donors. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Joe Manchin has stock in energy companies too, so he's like objecting to... There's like a provision within the bill that's like, oh, if energy companies don't start moving to green energy, like they can have financial penalties. And Joe Manchin is objecting to that. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, every time at least in the Biden presidency, there's some sort of Democratic piece of legislation that's going to go out to a vote or just being written, I'm like, just holding my breath until I hear the words Joe Manchin and Crystal Cinnamon say no. And I'm like, every time this motherfucker has something to say. Both of them. And they still don't want to touch the filibuster, even after the whole... I didn't even get into the whole fucking debt limit thing that we were dealing with. Nah.
And I don't even want to talk about it because it's over with for now, at least. Because Mitch McCuntface, he was like... What?
That doesn't roll off the tongue as much as Crystal Cinnamon, but I allow it.
Okay. Anyway, Mitch McFuckface, whatever I called him. Yeah, he was like, okay, you can have a temporary increase until December. And then otherwise, he was like, you got to do this through your reconciliation package. And he was just being a bitch about it. I was like, whatever.
Which will never get through because Joe Manchin and Crystal Cinnamon say no.
Crystal Cinnamon, I still can't. Anyway, I'm over it. And we're also over time. So do you have any other parting thoughts?
No, I really don't. Like, it sounds awful. Everything.
I just hate
awful.
American politics. I do.
I hate all politics, but American politics in particular.
American politics is just like nothing ever gets done. The Congress is always gridlocked somehow. Like nothing ever gets done. Everything's dying. Climate is ruining our planet, and no one wants to do anything about it. And it's just like, it sucks. American politics sucks.
Tell me something I don't know.
Well, you probably don't know what my kink is.
Please tell me.
And you'll still never know.
And you'll never know to the day you die.
Unless you start dating me.
Oh, here we go again. Okay. I'll think about it.
Okay. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the What Did the Gays Think podcast. Obviously, as we always say, if you don't follow us on Twitter, go ahead and give us a follow there. It's at WDTGT podcast. We post a lot of just, random stuff, memes. Sometimes Pat will go off and, go on rants with Jackie about something or other on Twitter. So obviously go ahead and follow us there. If you like games, I like games. We
Oh my God. Do you like games? I like games.
Listen, I'm trying to switch up the outro here. If you like games, come follow our Twitch at What Did the Gamers Think? GAYMERS. And if you want to, support our very small podcast, you can go ahead and look at our merch on Redbubble as well.
Yes.
Come take a look, see if you want to buy anything, and come give us some advertising.
Please, we need it.
And yeah, if you're on our YouTube channel, go ahead and give us a like to the video. That's very helpful. Or subscribe to our channel to get notified when new videos come out. Or if you're on any podcast platform, go ahead and just subscribe to our podcast to be notified when our new episodes come out. Anything else, Pat?
John Gruden resigns as Las Vegas Raiders coach after reports he used racist, homophobic, and misogynistic language in emails while working at ESPN.
Great. And I am Matt Klubeck.
And I'm Crystal Cinnamon.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.